All right, for today I'm going to be working on creating more of a dome, and my dome also comes to a point. Then on the inside, I have an awful lot of smoothing to do in here and shaping. When you start changing the top shape or the bottom shape for a pinch pot, you'll notice that the inside tends to need a lot of manicuring or changing and shaping as well. The main tool that I use to start to get the shape that I have now is the paddle. So that paddle, as I spin my banding wheel, instead of having a flat bottom, I started pushing all of that clay up towards the top. And again, like I said, I'm starting to create that kind of a dome with a point at the top. And when I go around each time, I'm trying to further bring that point to the top. Anytime you're working with clay, it's all about time spent and, shaping, smoothing, thinning. These are all the things that you do throughout any ceramic project. And this is an excellent first project for you to do because it's going to teach you a lot about what looks good and what doesn't look good. One thing for sure that doesn't look good with ceramics is crumbles. If you see crumbles, those crumbles need to be, either removed or smoothed out. Another thing is little cracks and imperfections. So as you look at the sides of mine right now, it has a lot of imperfections. One thing that is the easiest tool for you to use is your hands. Now watch how I'm going to take this really bumpy, very rough looking surface, and I'm going to smooth it out with my hands. Now, since I started shaping the bottom of my mug or my pot, I'm no longer able to use the banding wheel when I'm shaping the sides and whatnot. But what I'm doing is holding it in my hands and going around and shaping all of the different sides. As you're working on the outside, you also have to be really mindful of the inside. In one of my other videos, I talked about using a needle tool. That needle tool is a great tool that resembles, is similar to a pencil in the aspect that you can sort of draw with it. And what I'm doing is just showing myself the edges that I need to remove. Those edges are a little too thick for my taste and something that I want all of my students to know what to recognize as too thick and too thin. So that needle tool gave me a nice easy visual so I can see what exactly needed to be removed. Now as I remove those pieces, I'm going to set those aside and then I'm going to get out that magic tool that I use for thinning, always the metal rib tool. As I use my metal rib tool, I'm going to go around all of the sides that I can get to. I can't get to the bottom with this one so well, but now I'm just going to start trimming some of the extra clay, or called trimming the fat, and smoothing out the sides. So on the inside, it's looking pretty rough in there. Much of that will be smoothed out using my hands. I can use a plastic rib tool, but that top edge, I like to use the metal rib tool. It pulls a lot of that fat off really quickly and gives it a nice manicured look. If you're using your pinch pot to make a mug, you want to be very mindful that that hard edge that I have along here really has to be softened up. I like to use my fingers to soften those edges and also my metal rib tool to trim any excess. Right now it looks kind of inconsistent. It's a bit bumpy along all of those edges, and some areas are thinner than others. So what I'm doing is just going around and perfecting all of those details. It is very repetitive. What you do with this pinch pot doesn't go quick, and it is repetitive motions, and those behaviors are going to help you to make a really, really professional looking pinch pot. I've said before, and I'll say it again, there's many people that have done pinch pots and maybe only use their hands. The best thing that we do in my ceramic program is we use the right tools along with our hands and are able to get really, really good results. So every time I am working on this piece, I'm using my hands and my tools to smooth and thin and make it as nice and professional as it can be. I always refer to the ceramics that maybe I would normally purchase in a store, such as a coffee mug. When I'm looking at those, I pay close attention to what the edges look like. Now, those are manufactured in big factories, so you're more likely to see absolute perfection than something that is handmade. But it is a good idea to strive for some of the details that make traditional coffee mugs or planters look good. One of those features is smooth, rounded edges. So again, I'm just going back and forth, my metal rib tool, and using my hands to smooth out as much of this as possible. Now, a pinch pot is meant to be imperfect. It's not supposed to be perfect. But I'm going to teach you all of the things to help you to achieve the best results that you can get. And that's by using the different tools that I've mentioned so far. And there we go.